What's going on, y'all? Got a very interesting show for you guys today. So, what is going on with this plane and helicopter crash business? What's really happening with this? I heard a very interesting theory that I want to share with you guys. It's a video, and I think that it's something that needs to be seen. For those of you who don't know, there was a plane crash that took place recently that claimed the lives of over 60 people, and I want to send my heart and my condolences to the families that were affected, and I pray for peace and I pray for healing. I want you guys to check out this gentleman. He's pretty big on social media, and he has a theory about this. And I want you guys to hear it because I think that is worth hearing. So check it out, and we'll get into it.
The most recent plane crash was a ritualistic Freemasonic incantation sacrifice for the Super Bowl. Now, all this is based on the numerical spectrum of the Freemasonic order, because 33 is basically the embodiment of a Freemasonic number, and 33 is connected to a form of the Black Nobility Eagle that is equated to the Philadelphia Eagles, that is basically the symbology of patriarchy. You cannot also negate the fact that the airplane took off on runway 33. Now, this is also esoterically connected to the number 13, which is a matriarchal number. Now, 13 is also working in tandem with the Chiefs, because it's connected to the indigenous people that was connected to Turtle Island. So you got plane 64 crashing the helicopter number 3. So you take 6 plus 4 plus 3 equals 13, which is the embodiment of a matriarchal number. Now, one thing you got to understand about the technology of Black Hawk helicopters is that they're able to fly on an autonomous level because it came from the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency that works in tandem with artificial intelligence. So that means that a Black Hawk can fly without a pilot in sight. Now, when you understand that the universe is mathematical, you know that everything in the simulation is not a coincidence, because all this is basically esoterically connected to Kobe Bryant, because we're in the year of the snake and he was the Black Mamba. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles, they tweeted out this picture right here with a helicopter on Kobe Bryant's death anniversary.
Very interesting points that he was making. Now he used a lot of like $5 words, and you can get lost in the conversation very easily. But to break it down in layman's terms, basically what he was saying is he believes that this plane crash was a Masonic human sacrifice rituals. So that this was not something accidental, this was something intentional, and it was a human sacrifice made for the Super Bowl that's coming. And the Super Bowl features the Eagles versus the Chiefs. And there was certain evidence and proof that he provided when it comes to numerical coincidences. And it's like these things have to be tied together. So one of the main ones I heard him say is that in the Masonic order, the highest degree of Masonry is 33, the 33rd degree of Masonry. And when you reach that level, you're a Master Mason. And there's one of the main symbols for a 33rd degree Mason, or the only one that I've seen, is the number 33 that is pinned on an eagle. And this eagle is the Black Nobility Eagle. And he's saying that this is tied to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are in the Super Bowl. Something else interesting is that the plane that crashed into the Black Hawk helicopter took off from the runway 33. Okay. Now I think it's interesting. He pointed out some other things too about how the Philadelphia Eagles tweeted a helicopter. We don't know if it was a black helicopter, but they tweeted a helicopter on Kobe Bryant's birthday. So you have the eagle that flies, that will represent the plane, and they're tweeting the helicopter, and then the American Airlines plane crashed into the helicopter. It's all very interesting, and it all kind of leaves a lot of questions. And it just, when things like this happen, these tragedies, these accidental tragedies that just kind of don't make sense and add up, it makes you question. It's like, man, something's off here, and I'm not saying that what he's saying is true. I'm saying it's interesting, and I wanted you guys to hear it. But let's hear a story from the news about what actually took place with this crash and some of the things that just don't make sense to me, which leads me towards leaning to believe that this was not an accident. This was intentional. So check this out.
These videos are difficult to see as we are also learning more about these 67 lives that were lost in this collision.
So it was 67 lives that was lost. That's horrible, man. That's horrible. It's so terrible that people's lives have been claimed in this crash, and it doesn't even make sense. I want to let you guys hear it.
This morning, the New York Times is reporting that the helicopter may have been flying outside of its approved flight path and higher than it should have been.
So this helicopter that this plane crashed into was flying higher than it should have been flying, and it was in the wrong flight path. It shouldn't have even been there in the first place. This makes me question because we're talking about a military helicopter. A military helicopter. This isn't some amateur aircraft. You're talking about professionals whose job, if they don't do it right, the safety of the citizens of our country is at stake. You're talking about people who they calculate everything they plan out everything that they do. So much thought goes behind the things that are done. And this military helicopter was flying higher than it should have been. And then it was in the wrong flight path. It shouldn't have even been where it was in the first place. Who made that kind of mistake? And because it's flying higher than it should have been and in the wrong place, it just so happened to be in a place that was in line of this plane that took off, and the plane crashed into this helicopter. You guys, listen to me. I am not a person that believes in these type of freak accident coincidences. I always think that there's something behind it because things don't just happen by chance like that. They don't. And one of the things that the guy in the previous video pointed out is that these helicopters can fly autonomously. I hope I'm saying that right, which means that it doesn't need a pilot to fly or be operated. So that is something else that can leave somebody questions of like, well, was this done privately? Was somebody remotely operating this helicopter intentionally had it where it was so that the plane would crash into it? I don't know, but I think it's interesting. Let's finish this video.
Much more to that. Let's get to the videos. The first video we want to show you, the bright light that you see at the top is the American Airlines jet as it approached the runway. Then you see the helicopter flying directly into the frame and directly into the plane. Both aircraft immediately then crashing down into the Potomac River. The second video, it appears to be surveillance video from the airport and showing the very same helicopter moving along the river as the plane approaches the runway at DCA, and then the collision and the explosion and into the Potomac River. Horrifying.
Heart-wrenching stuff, man. Heart-wrenching stuff, man. It just makes you want to cry, man. It makes you want to cry. It really does. And all of the families that lost people, 67 lives claimed. Man. So from the video, it appears that the plane wasn't taking off. The plane was landing. And this helicopter was in the way of the plane trying to land, and it crashed into the helicopter, and the plane ended up in the water, and 67 people lost their lives. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the plane actually took off from runway 33. I don't know if I mentioned that, but that's just something else I thought was interesting, seeing that, you know, this guy on the video claims that he believes this was a Masonic ritual for the Super Bowl. And, you know, with the 33rd degree Masons and that 33 being pinned on an eagle in their logo, and then the plane taking off from runway 33, and then the Philadelphia Eagles tweeting out a helicopter. It's just very, very curious. Very curious. Did you guys also know that The Simpsons, in The Simpsons cartoon, they depict a helicopter crashing into a plane? And if you guys know anything about The Simpsons, the Simpsons have depicted in their cartoons innumerable things that end up happening before they happened. I mean, specific, detailed things they have depicted in their cartoon that end up actually happening. I believe, and people believe, that The Simpsons is a tool of predictive programming. They put things out there through a way of like foretelling, fortune telling, the work of demons. They're able to predict things that will happen, and the demons then go and manipulate circumstances and people to make it happen. And it is a tool of the enemy. It's a predictive programming tool to foretell to society what's going to happen before it happens. And I believe that there are people who own The Simpsons behind the scenes who are definitely tied into these secret societies and this occult, and they're not working for the betterment of mankind. They're working for Lucifer. They're working for Satan. The same way that the Freemasons, they worship Satan. They do. Once you get to the 33rd degree, there's more and more secrets that's revealed to you along this journey in Freemasonry, and the higher that you go in the ranks, the more you have to show your allegiance, the more rituals you have to carry out, and then the more information, these more secret truths that are revealed to you. And at the top of it, when you get to 33, they reveal to you that who you actually serve is Lucifer, is Satan. And by that time, you're so brainwashed, you don't even believe Lucifer is bad. You think Lucifer loves you, he loves humankind, and he is the actual creator of humankind. These are the things that they reveal to you. And there are so many different master masons who have left the organization and wrote books, tell-all books, and exposed these things. This is a society that is completely blasphemous towards the God of the Bible, specifically in Jesus Christ. Why do you think that is? Because they know where the true power is. They know who the true God is. And Satan is about attacking that and leading as many souls away from the truth and away from salvation as possible. Either way, something else that the gentleman in the video revealed, who has this interesting theory, is that this is also associated and tied to the death of Kobe Bryant. And for those of you who don't know, Kobe Bryant lost his life on a helicopter ride. There was a helicopter crash. And once you look into that, if you really believe that that is something that was not planned, that Kobe Bryant's life was not taken, because Kobe Bryant's life was taken 3 days before he had a hearing because he was suing this pharmaceutical company for using the Black Mamba name, and he was also claiming that they were putting opiates in their prescription drugs to make people addicted to it. And so 3 days before the hearing of this court case is when he died. And we know how powerful the pharmaceutical companies are. I can't even get into that right now. But basically your food, your agriculture, your medicine, the medical field, all of it is geared towards making these pharmaceutical companies richer and richer. $1 billion annually enterprise we're talking about. Billions of dollars annually. So the food, the air, what we eat, what we drink, everything is geared towards making us sick. I don't even want to get into it. Our doctors are trained and taught not to make you better, but to basically diagnose what you have and to prescribe you prescription medicine to combat and to suppress and to manage the symptoms, not the sickness. And this is all an evil, wicked cycle to lead you back to paying money, your insurance, which you don't even, your insurance companies who set the price for these drugs, right? They set the price for these drugs. And then you have to use your insurance to pay for these drugs, to pay for these treatments. And the treatments are not designed to make you better. The treatments are designed to suppress and manage your symptoms so that you have to keep coming back. Even the stores you shop in, like Walmart and Target, the things on their shelves are owned by 11 families, and they have been for years. And those products are made with ingredients that are toxic, harmful, chemical-based, making you sick, making your family sick. I don't shop in those places at all. Making your family sick so then you can go to the doctor, so then those doctors can prescribe you prescription medicine that is only feeding and perpetuating a system of control that has been in place since John D. Rockefeller made his move on America. Anyway, back to the point I was making is that this is who Kobe Bryant was coming after, a pharmaceutical company, and 3 days before the hearing, he died in a helicopter crash. And if you know the information surrounding this crash, there's no way you can say this was not planned and they did not take him out intentionally. I want you guys to check out this video.
Kobe Bryant died at the age of 41. He was taken out the last game of his career with 4.1 seconds left. Kobe scored 60 points and the team collectively scored 41 points. Like I said in my last video, those who attended this game courtside received a Kobe toy that turned into a helicopter.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Kobe Bryant, on the last game of his life, people who attended courtside got a Kobe Bryant toy that turned into, out of all things, a helicopter? Tell me what a helicopter has to do with Kobe Bryant before his death. In what way does a helicopter have anything to do with Kobe Bryant before his death?
Kobe died from a helicopter crash. Kobe scored a legendary 81 points on his 666th game of his career. Kobe Bryant's famous workout was called the 666 workout. The day before Kobe died, LeBron James passed him up on the all-time scoring leaderboard in Philadelphia, where Kobe Bryant was born. He did this on the 54th point of the game. Kobe was 41 when he passed away. Gigi was 13. Add those together, you get 54. On the court, there was a snake that was cut up into 8 pieces. Kobe was known as the Black Mamba, which is a snake, and he used to wear the number 8. If you look up the picture, this is what you get. It says join or die.
Join or die. Join or die. A snake was on the court, cut up in 8 pieces. And when you look into this symbol, the tagline is join or die. Join what? Join what? What was Kobe refusing to join? What was Kobe combating? What was Kobe resisting? Or maybe what was Kobe trying to get out of or get away from? Interesting. Interesting. A snake on the court cut up in 8 pieces. Okay.
After Kobe died, LeBron James wore his jersey, did the Illuminati sign, and flashed 666.
Are we to believe that those are all just coincidences? That these things are just happening by accident? I certainly do not. I certainly do not. The wickedness of man You can't underestimate it. I don't. I know that there are people who are fully demonically possessed by the realm of darkness. They have been taken over. Their conscience has been seared. Their hearts are hardened, and they have zero sympathy, pity, compassion on mankind. They could care less about you. All they care about is self. All they care about is gain and position and power and money. They don't care about you. They don't care about the most innocent of us all. And do you know why people who have given themselves over to the darkness, they feel that way? It's because that's how Satan feels. Satan hates humanity with a hate that is unimaginable, with a hate that we are fully not able to comprehend. And people who have given themselves over to this darkness has taken on the characteristics of Satan. And so they hate mankind. They have to denounce all compassion and all care for mankind in order for them to reach these levels of success and what they would think is prosperity. It is so dark and so evil, man. And so, I'm praying for, like I said, those who lost their lives and the families who have been affected. And I pray that the truth will come out, and people will be held accountable, and you will be. Listen, everything that we sow, we reap. And every action we will have to give an account for. Nobody's getting away with anything. So if this was foul play, which I believe it was, I got to be honest, it doesn't make sense. Then those who are responsible, they will have to pay for what they've done. Whether it's in this life or in the next life, it won't go unrewarded. Amen. Either way, pray you guys got something out of this. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Shalom.